Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us wherever you are. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS, will be your host. This talk show is a collaboration between Jadi PNS and UNESCO Green Citizens initiative. Now we are with Sunil Lalvani. He is founder and CEO of Project Maji. Hello, Sunil. How are you?
Hi, Gulo. All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sunil. And we're also with Luísa Beserra. She is founder and CEO of Sustainable Development and Water for All. Hello, Anna. How are you?
Hello, I'm great.
Thank you so much, Sunil and Anna, for joining us. And we are really excited to have you here. And Sunil, please tell us about yourself in a few words.
Okay, so I'm Sunil Lalvani. I'm a British-born Asian, Indian origin. Grew up in the UK and spent my life, 25 years, working in my family's electronics business. That took me around the world. And it was in 2015 when I became a social entrepreneur, when I came across the water crisis, started a small CSR division within the family business to try and help some kids get access to water. And that was a cause that just ended up consuming me and ended up creating Project Maji, spinning that off as a separate entity, and then leading my role in the family business to run this full time. So I'm a social entrepreneur tackling the water crisis in rural Africa.
Thank you so much, Sunil. And Anna, please tell us about yourself in a few words.
So I'm Anna. Since I was a kid, I had a dream to become a scientist. So I read a book in high school that talked about the driest region in the northeast of Brazil and how the life of those families were hard, mainly because of the lack of safe drinking water. So this touched me a lot, and I was just thinking how we have so much advanced technology and people still don't have access to safe drinking water. Is a human right. So it should be so easy to make it accessible to everyone. So I started to study how could I change this reality, still being a high school student. And then I developed my first technology that's called Aqualuz. That's disinfect the water using just the sun radiation. But at the same time, I was frustrating because mainly because I'm Brazilian, it's so hard to being a scientist, even when we are so young, is even harder. So 2 years later, I started my journey as a social entrepreneur. I founded SCW with 17 years old, and we started this very challenging path to make the access to clean water to everyone. That's why we chose the name of our company to become. The first name was Safe Drinking Water for All, and then we turned into Sustainable Development and Water for All, because we believe in the sustainable development as a path to the people to have access to clean water and sanitation.
Thank you, Anna. And Sunil, what drove the idea behind your project, Maji?
So as I briefly mentioned, it was actually when I was working in Ghana, or I was on a trip in Ghana, and I was driving along a dirt road when my driver came to an abrupt halt. So I actually asked him, I said, why have we stopped? What's going on? And he said, I can't drive any further because there's a puddle of water in the road. So I said, well, we're in a 4x4. What's the problem? Why don't you just drive through the water? And he said, I can't because there are two kids in the water. And that certainly drove my attention to try and ask what's going on. So I actually got down from the car and spoke to these kids. And sure enough, they told me that they lived about 200 meters away and they were on their way for their daily 1 hour walk to collect water. And they said, luckily, it rained last night and this water was here just close to their village. And that really just shocked me. And I wanted to learn more about their situation. And going up to the village, I spoke to the community. I understood more. I understood they'd been given a hand pump by an NGO a couple of years earlier, which had broken down, and they had no funds and no know-how on how to fix it. So then I thought, just as a CSR project for my family business, let's help this community. So that was sort of the pilot that started it. But the cause just consumed my mind, my heart. And then I thought, this is something I want to do full time. I guess Well, I'm going to say for the rest of my life, but I hope it's something we can stop at some point when we get water to everyone. But it's a big task.
Thank you so much, Sunil. And Anna, please tell us what drove the idea behind your project, Sustainable Development and Water for All.
I guess I have something in common to Sunil. Once I understood the problem of water while I was 15 years old, trying to understand how can I help the people that had the kind of problem, and it was still very near for me in the northwest of Brazil. I understood that is a really, really big problem, and that not only me, but more people should be addressing this with solutions that was really viable. This maybe was a big challenge, how to have viable technologies that not only are effective, but are, are cheap and are designing for those families that could understand their culture, that could be something that they could use daily without any kind of technical problem. So this was my challenge, and we start to develop Aqualuz as a biomimetic technology that uses the sun, that is available for everyone, and a technology that uh, the only maintenance needed was cleaning with water and soap, and that could last for 20 years. So these are our differentials, and we believe that for some specific part of the people that really have this challenge of safe drinking water, this technology is the perfect solution. But this journey has been teaching me every day that the problem of water is very complex, and we do need a lot of different technologies to address different water challenges.
Interesting, Anna. And we're back to Sunil. Why did you choose to address water quality and access?
So as I mentioned, I came across it by chance, seeing these two kids. But it was really that moment when I also saw the broken hand pump, which really woke me up to what the issue is, because it wasn't something I was very cognizant about previously. But after seeing this, I really studied a lot more, and I understood that a lot of NGOs have been going around the world trying to put hand pumps in different communities with varying degrees of success. But the single biggest KPI that they're measured on is just deploying hand pumps and how many have been deployed. There's very little, if any, measure about how many are actually working and how many are actually servicing communities today. So a huge amount of effort and money gets deployed across the world, putting in these solutions, boxes are ticked, pictures are put up in corporate reports, etc. But what's really the impact that is happening on the ground? No one's sort of looking at that. So I wanted to tackle this from a much more sustainable perspective. So for me, it wasn't actually just about building what we call a kiosk. I mean, we actually built solar-powered kiosks because, first of all, I wanted to deliver something that was a higher service level than a hand pump, because I also didn't like this crazy physical effort that people have to put in to collect water. So we use solar panels to pump up the water, and the community gets water out of a tap, essentially. But very critically, we have a maintenance mechanism that monitors these things remotely. And if we detect a problem, we can go in and we can fix it. So we now serve about 350,000 people across Ghana, Kenya, and Uganda. And we're very proud to be measuring uptime of our sites. There were over 96% of all our sites since inception are working at any one time. And we also put a KPI on ourselves, onto the community, that if you have a problem with the water, within 5 days maximum, we will have water working again. We'll try and do it in 24 hours, but we put a maximum of 5 days on there. So it was just about seeing how people were tackling this problem in the past, but it was a very superficial solution. We wanted to go in deep and understand that this thing was going to work for the longer term.
Oh, great points. Thank you so much, Sunil. And Anna, why did you choose to address water quality and access?
Well, it was much more of how could I do something important in the world and try to solve a big important problem. So launching SCW, especially in a young age, was a mix of passion, determination, and desire to make tangible the impact of water access and quality issues. And I observe around me the support from my community mentors played a crucial role also, along with uh, my pursuit of solutions that through innovation and technology, I could solve this problem.
Interesting. And then, Anna, again, how did you manage to launch your initiative at such a very young age? And why youth engagement in environmental action so important?
I guess it's a bit of this. When I was younger, I had such a utopic world inside my head. I thought that everything was easy, and at the same time that if I had a good idea, I would have the help of the community and everyone to make it viable and make it work and make it being able to address the technology of Aqualuz to everyone as soon as possible, but wasn't like this. It was frustrating to be very young and with a good idea and not the correct tools and funding to make it available to everyone. And what I was saying that being able to build a networking, find mentors, find the correct team to implement the technology with me was definitely something very important. And as I'm right now with 11 years in this journey, definitely I understood that the power of the networking is something very, very important, even more important than funding. Of course, both are essential for us to build the correct path, but being able to connect with the correct organization, the people that has more knowledge in specific specific uh, uh, themes than I do was definitely something that helped me in such a young age found successful impact startup.
Thanks, Anna. Networking matters, really, really matters. And Anna, please tell us a little about how the solar water disinfection system works and how does it complement rainwater harvesting techniques?
Okay, so we basically focus the Aqualuz technology in places where they use the rainwater harvesting system as the main source of water, because in this way they will have water that is clean in the aspect of physical and chemical, but they have some microbiological contamination. So Aqualuz, it's harnesses the sun UV rays to neutralize harmful pathogens in water, making it safe for consumption. It's designed to be simple, efficient, and sustainable, require no external energy source or chemical additives. The system complements rainwater harvesting by providing exactly a method to purify this collected rainwater, ensuring it's safe and expanding the utility of the harvested water for the people to consume it.
All right, thank you so much, Anna. And then Sunil, please tell us about the project Maji Cube and how it works.
Okay. So Maji, also just to clarify, Maji means water in Swahili, which is where the name comes from. So basically, it's a all-in-one prefabricated structure that gets shipped out to sites. I say a little bit like IKEA furniture. So everything is in one box. It can get onto site and it can be assembled in about 4 hours. It's the full structure. The critical point about making sure it's prefabricated that way is that not only can it be fast to assemble, but we can be sure about consistent quality. some of our very early sites when we were prototyping, we had concrete bases made and things like that, which could be fast to do, which could be cheap because we're using a lot of local labor in the communities, which is a good thing to do. But we couldn't always be sure, especially as we were scaling up really fast, we couldn't always be sure that every single one of these was done to a high technical specification. And we did find that in some communities, some shortcuts were taken. So we've decided we're going to have it looks like a cube. That's why it's called a cube. A prefabricated metal structure that goes out to the communities, consistent quality, fast to build, and easy for us to service every year. So all our sites we go out and we maintain every year. Solar panels are on top. A large storage water tank gets supported, and then we have multiple taps and a digital payment system to make sure the community can access water very easily.
Great points. And then Sunil, how do you ensure your project was community driven, and why was that so important for you?
Yeah, so that's a really critical point. This has been a great learning journey for us all along the way. It's now nine years we're doing this. If we do not have community buy-in, the system doesn't work, because we need to make sure that our model also, I should say, is we have donations that come and pay for the hardware infrastructure, but then we charge for the water in the community, and that water revenue is what keeps us sustainable. That is what pays for the ongoing maintenance of the sites. We're a non-profit, but we get donations for the capex, and the opex is run purely from water revenue. And that's where it's really key that the community understand, why are we coming in? What are we trying to do? Are they going to welcome us and support us, give us the right piece of land to operate from? They're going to tell us what price they want to pay for the water. We let them set the price, not us. But they have to understand the importance of paying for water. So we give a big WASH training as well, and make sure that they understand, what's the alternative depending where we are. If it's in Ghana, for example, sometimes there's an open water source very, very close to our cube. And sometimes, in fact, we see that our customers will walk past our cube to the river to get free water. But we have to explain to them what's the importance of making sure you stop at our cube and get clean water, and not go and, what are the issues of bilharzia, for example, that you might get if you get water from the river. So making sure they're bought in from day one is absolutely critical to make sure that our long-term sustainability model is going to work. Otherwise, it's all going to die very, very quickly, like the hand pump that we saw when I started this project.
Really great points. Thanks, Sunil. And Anna, what's been your favorite memory since launching your project, Aqualus?
Well, one of my best memory definitely was recently, 1 month ago. We were interacting with communities we served. In a beneficiary, unaware of my presence, was expressing her heartfelt thanks for the creator of Aqualus. And the moment she realized I was there, her face lit up with such joy and gratitude. It was a profoundly humbling and affirming experience, reinforcing the significance of our work, and witnesses firsthand the positive impact of Aqualus has on people's lives, and the genuine appreciation for those we help is a constantly reminder of why we do what we do. This encounter not only brought me closer to the communities we serve, but also relied my passion and commitment to our mission of providing clean and safe water.
Awesome. How about yourself, Sunil? What's been your favorite memory since launching your project, Maji?
So many, really, and actually very, very similar to Anna. Every time I go into the communities where we've given water, and you see the impact, and you see the smiles on people's faces, it's always such a good reminder, and it just gives you that motivation and that energy. But one particular thing I think comes to mind is, we go into some of these projects with like a real academic or scientific mindset. We're doing a project. We're here to go help the community. We've got to get the technical part right. And then when we do our pre and post impact surveys, what are the things that we typically measure for with water? Of course, waterborne disease has to be eliminated. That's obviously the first and foremost. but also things like time saving, especially for females in communities where it's the women and the girls who have to go and collect water. The women get no chance to work, and the girls get no chance to go to school. So I love talking to kids when we're there, when we've given a solution, and ask them, how has this changed your life, and what opportunities has this given? And like I said, we think about it very, very, very academically and think, okay, if a kid can't go to school because of water, you give them water, they can go to school, they get an education, and then they can maybe have time to do homework, or maybe they can have time to do chores to help the family. But I remember very clearly asking one young girl in a school. I said, okay, so now you've got water, and you don't have to walk early morning to get water, etc. What are you going to do with that time saved? And she said, I'm going to play. And it was such an eye-opener for me that, we forget that a simple thing like giving them access to water in their community can just let them be normal human beings living normal lives like we do. It doesn't have to be do more homework and do more work and earn an income. No, just have an, in the morning, I talk to a lot of schools as well. In the morning, I'll ask kids to put up their hands and say, when you went to brush your teeth this morning, how many steps did you have to take to get to the tap to turn your water on? 10 or 20 steps or whatever it might be. We just take it so for granted. And this was such a wake-up call for me to realize this is, for us, just normal life. And that's what really makes me proud in what we do as well.
Really touching. Thank you, Sunil. And then Anna, tell us about your project's impact on the local community.
Well, our project has profoundly impacted the local communities, transforming lives by providing access to clean water, sanitation, and the implementation of aqualucis, that is our solar water disinfection system, has led to a significant reduction in waterborne disease, directly improving the health and well-being of thousands, like Sunil. And beyond health benefits, it has empowered communities, especially women and children, by saving them hours previously spending on trying to the mother, especially trying to help the kids that are sick because of unsafe water consumption, try to get them to health hospitals, and the kids, they have more time to play, to study, have a normal life, like Sunil said.
Thank you. And how about yourself, Sunil? Tell us more about your project's impact on the local community.
So it's really very, very much the same thing. So I'm sure it's why again, it's one of the reasons Anna got into this, one of the reasons I got into it, because providing local access to safe water just has so many deep, profound impacts on the community. So all the things that Anna said hold exactly true for us as well.
Thanks, Sunil. And then again, Sunil, from your own perspective, which countries are the most vulnerable to water shortages?
So I think there's probably two ways to look at this. I think we typically work in sub-Saharan Africa. There are certainly parts of North Africa and the Middle East which are really dry, deserty areas which really suffer from natural water shortages. But of course, in sub-Saharan Africa, where we're working, very often it's not a shortage of water; it's a shortage of water access to communities. In some, we work in Kenya, East Africa, for example. Sometimes we're drilling down to get water 200 meters down to get water. But there can be other places where we're drilling down maybe just 30, 40 meters. Sometimes we can even take water just from a nearby river. And as long as we're cleaning it properly, we can serve that. So actually, in a lot of places that we serve, it's not an issue of shortage of water. It's a question of shortage of access to water, which is why we exist, to try and change that.
Thank you. And how about yourself, Anna? Which countries are the most vulnerable to water shortages?
I guess trying to speak about more Brazil, there's this specific region where we have a very dry climate, where especially this is a very big issue of doesn't have enough um, uh, rain in those places. We work with rainwater, but how we are going to treat water if this water if it doesn't rain at all? So the climate change has impact a lot. Some some places where it's supposed to rain once every 3 months, it's not raining at all. And some place that's supposed to rain just a few millimeters per month is raining a lot. So we have this impact that is um, very hard for the life of those communities, and is even harder to try to cooperate with technologies like Aqualuz with the specific big challenges. But I know that every country has their challenge. Sometimes is even harder, sometimes it's not. But talking about the reality that I know that is Brazil, we've been very impacted by the climate change, and especially with the driest regions.
Thanks. And back to you again, Anna. What are your tips for better water management?
Well, I believe that if we try to think sustainable, we should be not only consume water in the specific amount that we need to drink, but to cook, to do our other normal things in our life, like brush teeth and wash the clothes. Everything we need to manage water, but we also need to think um, about what we consume, the industries that we buy, how their impact of the water, and how we can choose wisely of which company is making the at the least impact of the world, because it is hard now to be impacting in the world, in the world we live right now. So I believe that's something about how to be wise, to understand, to study about the industries that we consume, and how to make wiser choices.
Thank you so much, Anna. And back to you, Sunil, the same question. What are your tips for better water management?
I actually, it's exactly the same thing that Anna said. I think the obvious things we can all do as individual consumers, just make sure that our own water footprint, let me say, visible water footprint, is managed. You know, whether it's shorter showers, flushing the toilet, brushing your teeth, how you do it, all of that. But everything that we can do in that space actually is minimal compared to the mass water consumption that actually agriculture and industry take up. Our normal human water consumption is marginal compared to all of that, and that's what we call invisible water. So every time you wear a pair of jeans, every time you eat a hamburger, we don't realize how much water is actually involved in developing that. So I think more transparency and awareness around things like that, and letting people understand where their water consumption actually is, would be the biggest thing to help.
Thank you, Sunil. And Sunil, again, how do the values of UNESCO Green Citizens resonate with you?
Well, I think for me, I've been with you guys for I think 3 or 4 years now, and for me, it's just I think it represents an excellent platform for us to be able to talk about things like this, for people who want to understand about various sustainable topics, to go on the site, look at different topics. There's water organizations like us that are showcased, and it could be on ag, it could be on healthcare, it could be on education. It's a really good platform to allow people to look around and learn about the space of sustainability.
Thank you, Sunil. And then how about yourself, Anna? How do the values of UNESCO Green Citizens resonate with you?
Well, for me, it's embodying the essence of what we strive for at SSW, their community to commitment to empowering individuals and communities, promoting sustainable development, and fostering environmental stewardship mirrors our mission. It's about creating a synergy between human rights and environmental protection, highlighting the interconnectedness of our actions and the planet's health. And this alignment fuels my drive and validates our effort in ensuring access to clean water, demonstrating that through collective action, we can forge a sustainable future for all.
All right. Thank you so much. This is such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Sunil from Project Maji and Anna from Aqualis for your inspiring story.
Been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'm truly delighted to meet Sunil and learn about the incredible work he's doing. So inspiring to find others who share the mission of providing access to quality water and reducing waterborne disease. Together, definitely, we're giving communities the chance to lead normal health lives. It's affirming to know we're not alone in this journey towards making a significant positive difference.
Thank you. Likewise.
And thank you, UNESCO Green Citizens Initiative, for this talk show collaboration. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's collaborate to make this world into a better place. I'm Gulo from JDPNS. Thank you and see you again.